I was born in Bowraville. I wasn't ever taught in schools about anything political. I have a really big thing about inclusion. I'm always triggered to be excluded. My recollection of Bowraville and my life while I was there doesn't come with a good story. There was a lot of hatred.
Arnie B. Bowraville was 24 years old when Australia held its last referendum on Indigenous rights.
What will it mean if the referendum is passed? Better housing, for permanent employment, and perhaps the most important of all is that of education.
Well, the 1967 referendum, the way I understood it, was to be counted in the census.
Back then, more than 90% of the country voted yes.
Nevertheless, the referendum did reveal what could be interpreted as some pockets of racial intolerance.
What do you remember about that time?
I really don't like using negative words, but I thought it was awful to be posed the question of, should we count you? Of course I want to be counted, I'm here.
And how did you vote on the referendum?
I voted yes.
Why?
Oh, I'd like to see them have a go. We'd like to see the blacks, the Aborigines have a chance.
I voted no.
So did I.
You voted no?
Yes, I voted no too. I've had enough of that.
You can't trust a bloody black fella, no matter where he is, see? And he gets on the plonk and he won't work. No, I think he's getting a good a deal as well, they're getting a better bloody deal than we're getting, see?
It upsets me to see it. It just upsets me, that's all. That we can't be trusted. That is stereotyping, that's assumptions. I do remember stuff like that. I remember a lot of stuff like that. Recent stuff like that.
Bowraville is in the electorate of Cowper. It recorded the highest no vote in New South Wales.
The third highest in Australia. I find that appalling.
And for Arnie B, memories of a time when Indigenous people were excluded from hospitals and schools in the town are still fresh.
I haven't gone back there much. It brings pain. I can remember Mum and Dad's pain, not being allowed to go to the hospital. For me, Bowraville hasn't changed. I feel for Cowper hasn't changed. I feel it's so conservative. It's like a straitjacket.
Now this Gumbaynggirr elder faces the second referendum on Indigenous rights in her lifetime.
The question facing us now is, we were counted in 1967 and now we need to complete the story. Now we just need to get us into the Constitution. Yes or no? And my answer to that is yes.
But not everyone agrees. Local councillor Martin Bowraville is Auntie B's cousin.
I said, what do you think of the voice? I said, I'm a no voter, you know that. So a no voter can turn into anything.
He's been hosting referendum information sessions like this one for people in town.
How come we got sugar? You know we all diabetic in Bowraville?
Uncle Martin Bowraville grew up in Bowraville with his cousin Trevor Bowraville.
I'll be voting yes because that'll give us, open that door just that little bit wider. And as I've said before, I don't agree with all government policies, but we've got to talk to the people who count.
They may be as close as brothers, but they have different perspectives on the referendum.
No, I had a look at all those.
No, you couldn't see this. See the big one they got there?
Yeah, I saw the big one. You see families split because of disagreements. And there's, in the end of the day, your thoughts are your own. So you don't try and dominate somebody else. And that's what the old culture's about.
Like every family has it, all clans have it, you know. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Especially if your name's Martin.
Especially, I'm the worst one for a start. And that's my brother. He'll always be my brother regardless.
You told me on the phone you were going to vote no. You were pretty a big no voter.
Oh yes, I was feeling very strong about it.
Sometimes I struggle with that when it's to do with my family, who go into a no vote and they feel really comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable with it, but that's my story. I wish we weren't put into this position.
Martin Bowraville is questioning what The Voice could actually do to help close the gap. He's sick of his people dying young. He's recently lost 3 adult children. Their portraits are on show here in the hall as part of this referendum information session.
Their habits took them, drug and alcohol. So that killed them both. It removed a lot of our people,
Uncle Martin's won an Order of Australia medal for his work with Indigenous young people, but now he's struggling with his own grief and loss.
Yeah, 48, 47, that's bloody young, You're not supposed to go. You're supposed to go before your kids. And I thought that was the norm, but and here I am going to make big decisions in my life for my family, and not only that, that's a big family I got.
The government says the Voice to Parliament will reduce Indigenous disadvantage. Uncle Martin's not so sure.
Our trusts have been torn from limb to post, because of not coming up with the goods to service my people. So the government of Australia has not impressed me yet.
Up in Coffs Harbour, Arnie B has been holding talks of her own.
We've got a question, and that's what a referendum is to me. A referendum is answer the question, folks. Just answer the question.
But at this recent Yes 23 event, tensions came to life.
What's the word for no? What's the word for no?
You tell me.
I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, that's the whole.
The corporation supporting all this.
So,
why have you got all the money? Where'd you get the money from?
Away from the heat of the public fight, Arnie B's still working to connect people as they grapple with this historic decision.
What I would like to do in this particular circle is to offer you an opportunity to speak your feelings about the coming referendum.
Yeah, at times I feel angry, but at times I feel calm. I certainly do not want next generations to have to endure what my parents had to endure, Arnie B, what you've had to endure, what your parents have had to endure.
For Arnie B. Bowraville, the lessons from the past are clear.
To me, 1967 referendum is a half job. And so I believe that if I'm counted in the Constitution, then I will feel that it's a job well done.
On the main drag of a town once divided by race, today Martin's nephew Jimmy Cutmore is here for a fire ceremony. He tells me a view that I've been hearing more and more from everyday mob.
I won't be voting, obviously because it does not represent my views and I feel like it does not represent my people.
You don't want a voice, what do you want?
The first thing I would like is a treaty, because that's been well overdue. The European settlement, when they come over here, they invaded us, but they have not actually created a treaty to say this is what's going on. There's only been one person that I'm aware of, and that's Kevin Rudd, that's actually said sorry. And still to this day, that's not enough. That's not good enough.
Despite the strain the voice debate is having on families like the Bowraville, there's one thing they agree on. Equality for First Nations people has never been more urgent. They just need to decide on the best way to get there.
Come on, you people, let's go around. Get a blessing, come through and walk through. Walk this way. Let's make our decision count where it needed most. Oh!